Hey guys, Jason here. So today we are going to talk about the difference in the LSDA brand Grade 2 Deadbolts 220 series and 260 series. What's the difference in the two? I don't know. Hang out for a minute and we'll find out. If you are looking for a good commercial quality deadbolt, please contact your local locksmith company. If you are a locksmith and are interested in selling LSDA products, contact your closest IDN branch, whether it be IDN Acme or IDN Armstrong. Today we are going to talk about these 260 series deadbolts and the 220 series deadbolts. We're going to talk about the differences in them, which the number one main difference, I'll go ahead and get this out of the way, is the finish. Now, if you have an LSDA or an IDN catalog, you might notice that this only comes in dark bronze or aura bronze at first. You think 10B, it's 10B aura bronze, like their doorknobs or their levers in aura bronze. However, it is 10BE, and as we open the box and take everything out, we'll look at the finish, we'll compare it to the other 10B finishes, and also just take a look at all the features and everything of each lock. So let's get started on that. First off, we'll look at the packaging. They're both in the same type of box. They are both grade 2 deadbolts. This one is a single cylinder, this one is a single cylinder. They both come in double cylinder. The 220 series comes in SFIC, and the 10BE finish, the 260 series, also comes in SFIC, but it's not listed in IDN Acme's catalog. However, after a phone call to the company, they said that some IDN branches do carry the SFIC version as well as a chrome version of this. However, IDN Acme only carries it in dark bronze, or 10BE I should say. And again, let's go ahead and get these out of the boxes. We'll notice that number one, the box is bigger. This is important for stocking reasons. Most locksmiths have to stock things in their vehicle, so that is a factor. A little bit bigger box, but let's go ahead and get these all out of the box and we'll take a look at them. Okay, first we'll talk about the boxing. The 220 has this simple folded divider in the middle. Go ahead and move this out of the way, and each one is set out. The deadbolt itself is wrapped in a plastic bag, as is with the 260. The 260 comes with a different folded padding. Again, this is important for locksmiths who drive around because the vibrations in your vehicle over time will cause issues with finishes, so you have to kind of watch that. We're going to talk about the latches. The keys for the 260 are 6-pin SC4 keys. The 220 series comes standard with SC1 5-pin keys. First off, we'll look at the latches. The 220 series latch has a hardened steel. It's a brass with a hardened steel rod through the center. It is adjustable. To adjust this latch to from 2 and 3, it comes in the box 2 3/8. To adjust it, you extend the deadbolt, turn it, pull it out, and then turn it back until 2 3/4 is seen in the window. The 260 series latch is a different latch. We'll hold them up close to the camera so we can see the difference in them. You can see they are made slightly different. I've already scratched the sticker off this, but the sticker does say retract the latch bolt before changing hand. This one uses a little notch, and whereas with the 220 you have to throw the bolt out to do it, on this one you leave it in and twist it. You see the little notch there, push it in and turn it back until it clicks, and that changes it to 2 3/8. So it comes standard 2 3/4. Presumably these will be used on commercial doors, which are mostly 2 3/4 back set. The 220 series comes with 2 different strike plates. One just thin metal strike plate, standard, and a thicker security strike plate. It comes with 2 3-inch screws, and as with most LSDA products, has slightly longer latch and strike screws, which I do love. They are also wood metal screws, so they can be used in wood and metal. So you have the choice of either using the security strike, which of course is highly recommended, or using just the thinner strike. We will look, one thing is we'll look at the longer screws. So you're going to use this with the longer screws. The head is slightly bigger, so it will stand off of that. Again, advised to use the longer screws. The 220 series Deadbolts has a fixed shroud, so you cannot use this on a smaller hole. You would have to re-drill the hole. And it also comes with 2 sets of mounting screws. The trim, the outer trim, is designed to be mounted with this plate with these 2 shorter screws. And then after that is mounted on the door, your cylinder would go through, of course, go through your latch. And this would be tightened down on the door. And then you put your thumb turn on and then use your longer screws with the finish to tighten the cylinder down. These Deadbolts, I've used these for a long time. They do require pretty exact hole preparation. So if the hole is off any little bit, you are going to have to probably re-drill or tweak it. To remove the cylinder on the 220 series, you can use almost any brand. You can use the LSDA cylinders, you can use Ilco, you can use GMS, you can even use ASA, Medico cylinders that are designed for the standard Schlage style lock. So with the 220 series, you would simply unscrew this screw and drop your cylinder out to replace it. And for instance, if you wanted to put in a quickset cylinder, you would take the cylinder out of the package, key it how you needed to, remove your tailpiece with the little circular disc, and you would install that. And this tailpiece that comes with that does fit in the cross slot of the latch. With the 260 series, it has a removable shroud. You can unscrew this screw right here. Well, first off, this shroud will come off. So if you have a 2 1/8 inch hole, you would use this, which does protect the latch against ice pick style attacks. But if you have a smaller hole, it does have a slight indentation that would fit in that hole real well. So the one advantage to this one is that it would work on smaller holes. And for this one, you remove your screw, your entire plate comes off, and the cylinder is simply held in by the pressure of this plate pressing up against it. When you take that off, your cylinder comes out, and just like with the other one, you would just install whatever type of cylinder you need. I will note that using like ASA, sometimes you do have to fiddle around with the cap and switch the cap from one to another. However, always take the pin with the cap, because that is kind of an important little issue that you run into. Now I'm going to install these on a mount in just a minute. We're going to speed up that process. We will also see the 10BE, or the 260 series, comes with a plastic dust cup, and also comes with a plastic kind of a weather seal. If this on a metal door, sometimes this is required for the weather seal, and they both have instructions. So the strike that comes with the BE is a typical quote Schlage style strike, except for it has a hole. Instead of both of the holes being on the jam side, which it should be, there is a hole on each side. That is somewhat unique and a little bit not great, but once you put this in the door with your long screws, you would put your face cap over that. I will say, if you do not use your strike and you compare the two plates, the 10B, the one that comes with the 260, is considerably thicker, almost double the thickness, and it is also a larger hole, which is important for grounds that have shifting foundations that have problems with lining up. All right, let's get these put on the door. Again, on the mounting difference style, I will point out this real quick, is instead of the two bolts holding the outside trim on, this simply has two standard bolts like any other deadbolt. And I did notice, you'll see the screws have kind of straight. This barely fits through the holes. So it is really, really tight. I don't know if this is just a manufacturing glitch, but you see that screw is really tight in that hole. And let's see, just to note, the double cylinder, we'll go ahead and pull it out real quick. It uses the same cross style tail pieces as many other brands of locks. I will note, since you don't use double cylinder that often in commercial settings because of the fire code issues, come apart. But if you do have a call to do this, you would mount the outside trim the same, and you would install your cylinder into the latch with the cross pieces, the tail pieces oriented correctly, and then install your inside cylinder. And we can see it's got this kind of aluminum metal shroud around it as well. And this has to be oriented correctly, the cutouts. So not often you will use double cylinder on commercial, but again, these are also excellent for residential use. We've sold many for residential. This comes in chrome. The 220 comes in chrome, antique brass, and polished brass, which we have an example of right here. And again, through ID and Acme, the 10BE comes in single and double with the SC4 keyway, and ID and Armstrong, I'm told, has the part number anyway for chrome version of the 260, and also an SFIC version, neither of which are listed in the IDN catalog, the newest IDN catalog anyway. Last thing, we'll go ahead and look at the finish difference like I talked about. 10B finish is a very big pet peeve of mine. This is the same brand, LSDA grade 2 knob in 10B finish. And if we hold up the deadbolt to the knob, we will see the obvious difference. This appears to be a powder coat type, kind of a textured finish almost, whereas the 10B, as we all know, does wear down with use and turns kind of a goldish, dark gold color, but when we hold it up to the light, we can see the difference in the finish. So that is a little bit of a negative if you're wanting to install exact matching hardware. And I will bring up this display with the Venetian bronze so that you can see the difference in the color of 10B versus Venetian bronze versus 10BE. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and mount these real quick on the mount just so that you can watch the process. It will be sped up again just to save a little bit of time on the video. Meanwhile, while I'm doing this, if you have any questions or comments about LSDA products, I will be glad to answer them. Thanks again for watching, guys. Y'all have a great day. We'll catch you next video. And there we go. 220 series mounted. 260 series mounted. Thanks again for watching, guys.